Hi, Dr. Karen Can. I am the founder of the Academy of Light Medicine and the Topican Healing Method. In this series, Healing Myths, Mistakes, and Misconceptions, I'm going through some things that I see commonly in my practice and among my students, and this information may be helpful for you for your healing journey. So, one of the questions I get asked a lot, usually in private, is why is healing taking so long? Yeah, raise your hand if you know that one. So it's very interesting because people have the misconception that, once they know what it is they need to clear or heal, that their symptoms should go away instantaneously. And I love when that happens, and it often happens with Topican healing. However, the time, quote unquote, it takes for someone to have a full resolution of symptoms is based on a number of factors. So I want to share that with you today in case this is helpful. So let's go for the practical. Sometimes people are like, wow, I'm really symptomatic. They go get some healing, or they see a naturopath or a medical doctor or a holistic medical doctor, and they get some treatment and maybe they feel better. But then they feel worse again, and then they get some more treatment, and then they feel better, and then they feel worse again, but not as bad as before, and so on and so forth. And then that comes up, why is healing taking so long? So one of the things to understand is that the energetic blueprints that make up our bodies and how it works and functions, those blueprints have sometimes been distorted over years and years and sometimes decades. How do they get distorted? Well, they can get distorted because of lack of self-care and understanding and knowledge. For example, we know through epigenetics that our negative emotions can actually change the way the DNA works in our cells, and it actually produces different proteins from when we are joyful versus when we are sad or angry or depressed, etc. And then there's, the way we treat our bodies. Um, Many people are like, oh, I eat only organic food. I said, did you do that through your whole lifetime? Well, no, I only started 5 years ago, right? And they're 60 years old, right? So sometimes there is a time lag because there are so many layers of toxins, both physical and non-physical, that have made a shift and change to our energy blueprints, and thus make a shift and change to our physical bodies, because our physical bodies go off of those blueprints. So why is it if our entire body regenerates supposedly itself every however many years, 7 years or something like that, why is it that we keep regrowing scar tissue or keep regrowing arthritis tissue and things like that? Well, the blueprint that tells the cells what to do and how to behave is distorted or unhealthy. So it's very important for us to have healthy blueprints. Now, that is something that we can definitely do fairly easily now with the Topican Healing Method. We can actually download positive blueprints and delete the negative ones. But that's not the only reason why healing takes so long. There is a process that if your energy system and body system have been distorted or unhealthy for a while, there's only so much shift and change that you can tolerate for your highest and greatest good in order for you to still function in the world. I had a healer friend one time, very powerful healer friend. He used to do these massive healings on people. He was, a seer, very insightful. So he would do take away all these different, negative frequencies and all this kind of stuff, right? And so he would do these massive healings. And then no one would come back to him. And he figured out that he was overdoing it. In other words, he was forcing the body to respond at a speed that the body was not used to or ready to respond. So these people were in bed for 3 days, sick as a dog, okay, and not liking him very much. Yet he was doing amazing, massive healing work. So he realized later on through experience that he has to go slower. And with Topican healing, I mean, one of the things that we have as part of a preset, if you will, is that it only does what is for the highest and greatest good for you. And the intention is that you heal with ease, speed, and grace. So the speed is basically up to what you can tolerate at any one time. And sometimes the subconscious mind needs to have symptoms, needs to tell you that you're healing. So it gives you detoxification or healing crisis symptoms. Not real fun at times. And there's a way you can rework your subconscious mind so you actually don't need to have those massive detox symptoms rather. And you can support your detox systems, both physical and non-physical, in the process. So that's the other reason. Now, the third reason is that, at times there are awarenesses and learnings that you are evolving into. And in order for you to learn these things, and sometimes you're creating something brand new, in order for that to happen, the healing is in a stepwise manner so that you can appreciate, OMG, I just healed this lack of forgiveness for someone from my childhood. Wow, and I feel so different. That must be really important, right? Like sometimes we need those awarenesses, those ahas. And the misconception is that, well, if you were healing the right way and you had the right healer or the right healing system, that everything, all your symptoms should go away at once and as quickly as possible. Otherwise, it's not very good. And my perception is that, well, everyone is different and unique. And sometimes that kind of healing where it seems like you don't have to do a lot of work, where it seems like someone can just wave a magic wand and all your problems are gone, may not serve you. Because what happens is if we have bad habits, we don't take care of our bodies, we have poor body posture, we don't realize, wow, the fascia is really important, or any things that we need to realize, we go back to our old habits. How many times have you started a new health habit and you feel better and then you go back to your old habits? Like a lot, right? Like, if you're being honest. So none of us are perfect in our habits. None of us are perfect in our self-care. And sometimes those symptoms are there to teach us and to remind us, hey, it's still important to take care of yourself, body, mind, and soul. When you get very habituated in self-care and it becomes a habit, just like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, washing your clothes, things that are just natural habits for most of us anyway, as humans. When you have a habit of naturally clearing your energy field, naturally dealing and transmuting negative emotions, naturally every day tuning in to the 0 point field and source, which we teach how to do in the Topic Healing Method. When you have these habits and you're tuning in more and more and more during your waking time, and even, clearing and healing things in your sleep realms, then yeah, things heal faster. If you have high spiritual responsibility, and we have 5 levels of that, healing type 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you're at 4 or 5, especially, you are often healing on behalf of huge contingents of people or planets or universes. Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but that's what I've experienced with many people that I work with. I've done thousands upon thousands of healing sessions, and some of the answers are pretty interesting, for sure. At times, when you have high spiritual responsibility, just imagine it's not just about you. You might be healing for all of humanity. You might be healing for Mother Earth. So there may be other things you need to be aware of and know. And so those symptoms are there to guide you. Sometimes those symptoms are there to give you a message. Sometimes it's your guide team, God team, spirit team, source team, giving you a hint on what else is next for you to learn or evolve or create. So the number one thing is, let's not judge healing is taking so long. Healing takes as long as it needs to take. And if we can just, put away that misconception and realize, wow, let's honor our journeys here. It may not be exactly how we imagine in our limited human understanding and minds. We just want things quick and fast and easy. I get it. And there's a lot of things we can do quick and fast and easy, especially with Topic and healing. And things that aren't supposed to go away, symptom-wise, maybe because there are these other things, because you have not connected to still, not because it's your fault, because you haven't developed that habit, that muscle yet. So as you, go into an auto-healing state, connect to the 0 point field, you actually may find, wow, my symptoms are a lot better without me actually doing any specific healing work. How cool is that, right? So there's a lot of things that if you get into a place of curiosity, rather than complaining about healing taking so long, I think, guess what? your healing's actually faster. When we let go of the attachment of when it's supposed to happen and just be curious about what's next, what's next. Oh, okay, and just be curious about what is it I'm learning? How am I evolving? Then it really shifts. And then you're really healing holistically then, body, mind, and spirit. So let us all let go of that. So I'd love for you to post in the comments below this video. Be honest. Hey, have you said that to yourself, either quietly or, to the spirit? How come it's taking so long? And what have you gained from watching this video, if anything, to help you in that space? So definitely would love to know, would love for you to share. And if you have any other comments related to, what you counsel yourself or others, if you're a professional healer, especially when people ask you how come healing is taking so long, if you have other perspectives to add to this conversation, please also comment below. Thank you so much. And I look forward to the next topic we're going to go through in the series of healing myths, mistakes, and misconceptions. And I will see you next time. Until then, happy healing and lots of love. Bye.